Yes. Does he deliver a forearm? No. He turns in a little bit, just a little bit of shoulder. Then, in defensive transition, coming back, trying to make sure that there's no easy scores. He doesn't commit a flagrant foul, but he gets the body and arms up enough to break the concentration of John Starks.
Now Gerald Wilkins returns, replacing Anthony Mason. John Paxson is back. Both clubs are setting up for the possibility of a desperation last-second shot. So the shooters return. Bulls lead by 10 with 18 seconds to go in the first quarter.
What Chicago likes to do here is put Pippen in the middle of the floor, spread the court, get their three-point shooters behind the line, and it's their version of a four-corner or a spread attack. Run the clock down, take your man off the dribble penetrate, kick out, get a score.
Here's Armstrong, stopped by Starks. And that will do it. So that's the end of the first quarter. Certainly the Bulls liked the style of play, and the Bulls were on fire, led by Michael Jordan, and the return of Scottie Pippen. It's the Bulls 32 and the Knicks 23 after 1 here at Madison Square Garden.
Back at Madison Square Garden, and I am joined now by the biggest, and I mean the biggest New York Knicks fan, Spike Lee. Now, Spike, I know you have been in Cannes at the film festival. You flew all night just to come back for this game.
Flew back all night. Let's see the game today, see it tomorrow, and then straight from the game tomorrow to go back to the airport to go back to the film festival.
Now, you must have mixed emotions here. You and Michael are very good friends, and you're
Knicks all the way.
Knicks all the way? We'll see about that as the game goes. Okay. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, all right, back to you, Mars.
All right, Ahmad, and the Chicago Bulls hit 10 of 14 from the field in the first quarter. Michael Jordan, 5 of 6, 12 points. The Knicks 10 for 21 at 48%. And the Bulls with 32 points, accounting for their high for a quarter in this series. Anthony was fouled by Armstrong. Phil Jackson staying with Craig Hodges and B.J. Armstrong in the backcourt. Scottie Pippen up front with Will Perdue and Scott Williams.
And now with Greg Anthony on the floor, hopefully his ability to dribble penetrate, his speed and quickness will help to break down the aggressive Bulls defense, get him to back off a little bit. Daryl Garrison spots the illegal defense by Chicago. A little bit too much help that time.
No argument from the Chicago coaching staff. That is the first such violation by the Bulls. Harv Albert with Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad for Madison Square Garden. Opening minute, second quarter. Here's Ewing putting the move on Perdue, and he was fouled. Patrick Ewing will go to the line. Scott Williams, trying to help out, was called for the foul. Patrick Ewing with the magnificent performance in Game 1 last Tuesday in Chicago. The Knicks coming up with that surprising win over the Bulls.
A moment ago, Patrick Ewing calling for the basketball, right hand extended, Greg Anthony with the ball. Now you got to get it to him, but you got to feed him so he can catch it, not where it bounces off his hands and goes out of bounds. Feeding the post.
And Ewing missing on both free throws. The Bulls lead at 32-23. Hodges with the open shot. That's two-point range. And the rebound gathered in by Ewing. Scott Williams in a battle down low with Xavier McDaniel and successfully fronting McDaniel. Here's Starks to the reverse. The Bulls 32 and the Knicks 25. Nice fake by Perdue, and he drew the foul.
The fans wanted the offensive foul call on Will Perdue with the free arm after he gave Patrick Ewing the little ball fake to get Ewing up in the air. Little drive down the lane and a free arm clear out, but no, he gets the call this time in his favor.
Will Perdue has emerged as a cult figure in Chicago. There is now a Will Perdue 1-900 number. And we'll play a little sampling of that a little bit later on. Will Perdue, during the course of the regular season, was very effective against the Knicks, as the Bulls took 4 out of 4 against the Knicks during the season. And they had that streak of 17 straight wins against the Knicks overall. That was stopped by the Knicks victory in Chicago in game number 1. Starks. The tip missed by Ewing, but Wilkins able to recapture. Passing on the jump shot.
Wilkins had a 16-footer that time, wide open, nobody in front of him, and instead continued to dribble and did not take the jumper. You got to knock down a few of them.
Illegal defense called for the second time on the Bulls. Phil Jackson taking a walk along the sideline. So now the Knicks in the technical foul situation.
You want to know where the illegal defense is? 1, 2 defensive players against 1 offensive guy. The other man is way out here somewhere. You can't do that. You have to play a man, not space on the floor. There's the illegal defense.
Stacey King, who missed the first 2 games of the series because of a bout with the flu, has checked in. Will Perdue sitting down. The Knicks are now 3 of 7 from the foul line. They have struggled at the line throughout the season. They picked it up in the playoffs. King with the steal. Rather, Williams with a steal. What a play. But he could not control. He felt that he was fouled, but he's called for stepping out of bounds.
That was some play by a big man to step out there, discourage the dribble, and then get a hand in and come up with almost the steal before going out of bounds.
And he thought he was pushed.
Well, if he got pushed, then he pushed Greg Anthony a little bit before that, so you just let him go. No call.
Oh, beautiful pass from Anthony. Oakley with his second bucket. So the Knicks now trail by 7. 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter.
Anytime Michael Jordan sits out, normally Pippen's on the floor. If Pippen's out, Jordan's on the floor. In game 1, because of foul problems, both players had to be out of the game. As a result, the Knicks took control.
Anthony with the jumper off the move. Nice spin by Anthony, and he drew the foul. Timeout being called by the Knicks. B.J. Armstrong called for the foul. The crowd responding to the Knicks comeback drive. You've heard of the Jose Canseco 900 number. There are various 900 numbers available for all sorts of services. And in Chicago, backup center Will Perdue has his own 900 number, with Will dispensing valuable information. Here's a listen.
Hi, Will back with Friday's hotline. Benjamin Roy Armstrong, our smallest guy, came up very big in an obviously big game. It looks like the refs are going to force us to play that physical game. So we shall. Detroit all over again. Even without a top-shelf Jordan in the second half, we withstood their best blows.
Very nice. I like his staccato Walter Winchell style. That was a sampling, certainly a worthwhile phone investment.
Perhaps Will anticipating that his future lies ahead in coaching, sending a message, a physical style of play like Detroit.
Greg Anthony cuts it to a 34-28 Chicago lead. Michael Jordan getting a rest. And again, the Knicks display. Now Jordan is back in. He's able to haul the rebound down. Knicks continue to have their troubles at the line. And Jordan right off the bench to connect for the jumper. Michael Jordan has hit 6 of 7. He has 14 points. The Bulls 36, the Knicks 28.
Well, there are reasons why, Chicago has 36 points up there. One, the number of field goal attempts that they try and get up on the glass. Now, it is low today. Only 17 thus far in the game, but they have 16 free throws already in this basketball game.
Scott Williams did a terrific job in defending against Xavier McDaniel. That's a 3. Greg Hodges from downtown extending to a 39-28 lead. Delay of game warning has been called on the Bulls.
Craig Hodges is a specialist. What Phil Jackson does is he brings him in a basketball game for X number of minutes. He lets him get set up behind the three-point line. If somebody can dribble, penetrate, kick out to him, and get him off early, he stays on the floor. If he gets no shots, no productivity, then he sits back down on the bench and someone else goes in and plays those minutes.
Another Knick turnover. The Bulls 3 of 3 from downtown. And Jordan called for the shuffle. Second traveling violation on Michael Jordan. Knicks did an effective job in doubling up.
How many times do we see 2 travel violations against Michael Jordan in the same game? Not too often.
Now Stacey King sits down. Bill Cartwright is back. Patrick Ewing back on the floor up front, along with Oakley, and a 3-guard alignment being utilized by Pat Riley. Anthony for 3. Yes! Greg Anthony, who at one stretch during the regular season was 1 for 24 from downtown, 8 for 55 overall. During the playoffs, starting with the series against Detroit, has become a 3-point shooting threat. Jordan working hard, and it's tipped home by Cartwright. Knicks were looking for offensive interference, but the basket counts. The Bulls by 10, 7:40 to go in the first half. Anthony, bad shot.
Now, that's one of the problems. When Anthony makes a big basket and gets emotionally involved, he gets a little bit carried away sometimes and kind of feels that this is the Greg Anthony show when it's not really. Here, the crowd concerned that this might be an offensive goaltending call. Was it in the cylinder? No, it was not. It was off to the side. Good call by making no call at all. If it's straight up and down in the cylinder, goaltending there, well, you could have a little bit of concern there. From that angle, not quite off as far as it looked the first time.
Foul was called on Cartwright. Here's John Paxson back, replacing B.J. Armstrong, who did not score. Again, the double coverage of Ewing, finding Oakley. Patrick Ewing has developed into a very good passer. And he and Oakley have a rapport that has emerged during the course of the season.
Just a great example, Marv, of why people continue to work with these great players to develop other areas. Just like Greg Anthony's become a better shooter, he comes out and works at it before each game. He's got hopefully a long career in the NBA to improve. Ewing knew that he had to become a better passer and read defenses.
Oh, Michael Jordan made the play, able to deflect it over to Grant. And the Bulls lead 43-33. Ewing foul by Jordan. The Knicks calling for time with 6:42 remaining in the first half. The setup for Ewing, and he's hammered from behind by Jordan. We'll be back after these words. The series, the Knicks have had a turnover problem, in particular back in Game 2 when they turned it over on 23 occasions. We talked about this with Knicks coach Pat Riley.
We looked at that yesterday, and the problem with the 23 turnovers was not the pressure. 14 of them were unforced. And their pressure created maybe 4 or 5 turnovers, but we had 14 unforced turnovers in just other situations where there wasn't any pressure. We can't do that. We got to keep our turnovers to 10, 12 assists plus 20. When we have 23 turnovers and 20 assists, we're not going to beat anybody. We won't beat the Sisters of Mercy, nor will we beat your former Atlanta Hawk team with its dinky 1-2-2 trapping defense full court. Gotcha.
Dinky 1-2-2 trapping defense. Will that dinky 1-2-2 trapping defense perhaps resurface next year in Sacramento or New Jersey, or will it be Houston or Denver or Milwaukee or the Italian League?
The man is obviously tired. He's got things backwards, upside down. It was a 2-2-1, not a 1-2-2. That's the problem.
I see. America's coaching candidate, the Czar. The Bulls with a 43-35 lead. nice deflection. Kiki Vandeweghe has come on for the first time. Jordan had it slapped away. The save by Anthony. 6:25 remaining.